Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Sorry that we didn't do a video yesterday. It was just such a crazy day. I couldn't get around to it. But as I promised on Tuesday, here is a picture of what my finished egg looked like. Now today we will be doing something special. We will be reading The Lorax by Dr. Seuss, and after we will be doing a craft that goes along with it. So let's get started. The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. At the far end of town, where the crinkle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the crinkle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. What was the Lorax, and why was it there, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the crinkle grass grows? The Onceler still lives there. Ask him, he knows. You won't see the Onceler. Don't knock at his door. He stays in his lurkin on top of his store. He lurks in his lurkin, cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of muffered moof. And on special dank midnights in August, he peeks out the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents and a nail and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather snail. Then he pulls up the pail, makes a most careful count to see if you've paid him the proper amount. Then he hides what you've paid him away in his snub, his secret strange hole in his grovelous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by whisper my phone, for the secrets I tell are for your ears alone. Slop, down slops the whisper my phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear. Since they have to come down through his snurgly hose, he sounds as if he had smallish bees up his nose. Now I tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started way back, such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green, and the pond was still wet, and the clouds were still clean, and the song of the swimmy swans rang out in space. One morning I came to this glorious place, and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright-colored tufts on the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. And under the trees I saw brown barbaloots frisking about in their barbaloot suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. From the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees, All my life I'd been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk, and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. And in no time at all, I built a small shop. And then I chopped down a truffle tree with one chop, and with great speedy speed, and with great skillful skill, I took the soft tuft, and I knitted a thread. The instant I finished, I heard a gazump. I looked. I saw something pop out of the stump. It was a sort of man. Describe him? That's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. "Mister," he said with a sawdusty sneeze, "I am the Lorax. I speak for the trees. I speak for the trees have no tongues. And I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs." He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. "What's that thing you've made out of my truffle tuft?" "Look, Lorax," I said, "there's no cause for alarm. I chopped just one tree. I am doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a thneed. A thneed's a fine something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat, but it has other uses. Yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, or curtains, or covers for bicycle seats." The Lorax said, "Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that full need." But the very next minute, I proved he was wrong, for just at that minute a chap came along, and he thought that the thneed I knitted was great. He happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. "You poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy." "I repeat," cried the Lorax, "I speak for the trees." "I'm busy," I told him. "Shut up, if you please." I rushed across the room and in no time at all built a radio phone. I put in a quick call. I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, "Listen here, here's a wonderful chance for the whole Once-Star family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast. Take the road to North Nitch. Turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch." And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Once-Star family was working full tilt. We were knitting thneeds just as busy as bees to the sound of the chopping of truffle trees. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at a time was too slow, so I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees at one smacker. We were making thneeds 4 times as fast as before, and that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door. He snapped, "I am the Lorax who speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping as fast as you please. but I am also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who played in the shade in their barbaloot suits, and happily lived eating truffle fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there aren't enough truffle fruit to go around, and my poor barbaloots are getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. They loved living here, but I can't let them stay. They'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried, and he sent them away. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go, but business is business, and business must grow, regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got. I biggered my factory, I biggered my roads, I biggered my wagons, I biggered the loads of needs I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north. I went right on biggering, selling more needs. And I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Then again he came back. I was fixing some pipes when that old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax, he coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled. He snargled, he sniffed. Onceler, he cried with a cruffulous croak. Onceler, you are making such smogulous smoke, and my poor swoomy swans, why, they can't sing a note. No one can sing who has smog in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough, they cannot live here, so I am sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog you've smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax, his dander was up. Let me say a few words about gluppity-glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity-glup, also sclappity-sclap. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Onceler man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed. No more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so schmerry. And then I got mad. I got terribly mad. I yelled at the Lorax. Now listen here, Dad. All you do is yap, yap, and say bad, 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 bad. Well, I have my rights, sir, and I am telling you I intend to go on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering, turning more truffle trees into needs, which everyone needs. And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffle tree of them all. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in time, my aunts and uncles, everyone, all waved me goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left 'neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad, sad backward glance. As he lifted himself by the seat of his pants, I'll never forget the grim look on his face. When he hoisted himself and took leave of this place, through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. That was long, long ago, but each day since that day, I've sat here and worried away. Through the years while my buildings have fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Onceler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing is going to get better. It's not. So, catch, calls the Onceler. He lets something fall. It's a truffula seed. It's the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and the truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula, treat it with care, give it clean water, and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack, and then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. The end. Okay guys, now that we're done with our book, we're going to make our very own truffula trees. All of the supplies will be listed in the description below. I'm just going to give you a quick overview. We're going to need straws, preferably paper straws, scissors, colorful cupcake holders, or a white one and we can just draw on it. Stick glue, but if you don't have stick glue, liquid glue will do fine. Blue, yellow, orange, and green construction paper. But if you do not have those, we can just do green, orange, and yellow crayons. And then a circular thing to trace. And that's all we will need. And I just want to give a quick shout out to some people that are watching my videos. Madison, Bake, Miles, Liam, Gracie, and Dax, and Colin, and Haley. So, to start out our craft, we're going to take one of our colorful cupcake holders, and we're going to cut along the ridges. Now, if you do not have colorful cupcake holders, you can just take a white one and color on it and make cool designs however you want for your truffula trees. And if you don't have cupcake holders, you can just draw it on your paper. And then, so we're going to flatten out our straw. And if you don't have a straw, you can also draw this too. So you can draw the trunk of the truffula tree. So we're going to make sure that it's nice and flat. And then we're going to cut it to the size that we want our truffula tree to be. And now we're going to take our stick glue, and again, if you don't have it, liquid glue will do fine. And we're just going to put a little bit on the end and stick our cupcake holder down on the top. so it makes a nice looking truffle tree. And now we're going to put glue all around the back of the stem and glue it down to our paper. So we have our nice truffle tree. And you can do how many of these you want. I'm going to do 2. So I'm going to flatten out my trunk. Cut it to the size that I want it. And I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger than my first one. And I'm going to take my colorful cupcake holder. And again, if you don't have this, you can just take a white one and draw on it. And we're just going to cut along the ridges. There we go. And then we're going to put glue at the top and glue it down, just like we did with the first one. We're going to glue along the back of the straw and glue it down. Then, as you can see, this one is a little bit bigger than my first one, so you're going to want to make it just like that. Make them 2 different sizes. And now we're going to set this over here, and we're going to start making our Lorax. So this is where the yellow and the orange are going to come in. But if we don't have that, I'll teach you how to draw the Lorax on a white sheet of paper. So first, we're going to make our mustache. So this is how you're going to draw your mustache. We're going to take our marker, and we're just going to make a little hump going one way, and then a little hump going the other way. And then we're going to do that again, but right below it, so it's going to be connected. Hump, and hump. And that is how you draw your mustache. So now we're going to take our scissors and we're just going to cut it out. And again, if you don't have this, I will teach you how to make your own Lorax when we're done with this. There. So now we have our mustache cut off. We're going to set it to the side. And we're going to take our orange paper and we're going to draw a circle with our cup or bowl or whatever you have. And now we're just going to cut out this circle. Now it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just going to try to make it as circular as we can for the head of the Lorax. There we go. Now we're going to take our mustache and we're going to glue it down with our stick glue. have this. Now we're going to draw eyes. So we're going to draw little circles above the mustache. Just like that. And then we're going to draw little U's inside of the circles for his pupils. Then right above his eyes, we're going to put a little line. Like that. And now we're going to make little hairs for his eyebrows. Like that. And then we're going to draw a little half circle in the little crease of the mustache, right above it, for his nose. And then below it, we're just going to draw his mouth being open. And inside the mouth, you can color the inside, or you can draw a tongue, or do whatever you want. And that is how we're going to make the head of our Lorax. And then we're just going to make a body. So you're going to take your marker and you're just going to draw big U on your orange piece of paper. U. And we're going to cut that out. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but we do want to make it the best that we can. Clean up the workstation a little bit. So now that we have our U cut out, we're going to flip it upside down. And we're going to glue it like that to our Lorax to make his body. So that it will look just like this. Now that we've glued the body on our Lorax, we are going to put a little glue down on the very bottom of our body. And we're going to get back our blue sheet of paper with our truffle trees on it. And we're going to glue it on with room at the bottom. See, so we're going to have room at the bottom, like with our truffle trees. And now we're going to take our green piece of paper and we're just going to cut our grass. So grass doesn't have to be perfect because it's grass. So we're just going to cut it and make it all jagged. And if you don't have green construction paper, feel free to draw on your own grass. So we're going to want to make sure that this is really pointy, like how you would like imagine grass. Okay. And now we're done. And we can fix it up however we want to make it look like grass. So mine is done. And again, if you don't have green construction paper, you can just draw on your grass. So now we are going to put a little bit of glue on each side of our paper. And we're just going to stick our grass down. And here we are. Now we have our Lorax with our truffle trees. And I am also going to teach you guys, because if you don't have orange and yellow construction paper, I'm going to teach you guys how to draw a Lorax. Okay guys, so now I'm going to teach you guys how to draw your own Lorax if you don't have orange or yellow crayons. So just like when we were cutting out the mustache, we're going to do that same exact thing. We're just going to go swoop, swoop, and then we're going to do that below it too. Swoop, swoop. And then we're going to color it in. So this is going to be our Lorax's mustache. And now we're going to take our cup and put it right over our mustache. Then draw a circle on the cup. We're just going to trace our cup with our orange crayon. Let's make his head. And then if you want to, you can make his mustache a little bigger. So it sticks out his head a little bit. Now we're going to draw our eyes. So we're going to draw a circle, 2 circles right above his mustache for his eyes. And then we're going to draw using them for the pupil. We're going to draw a line over those to make his eyebrows. Then we're going to give him really bushy eyebrows. Now we're going to give him his nose, so we're just going to put a little half circle right here on the mustache. Do a little dot inside. Now we're going to make his mouth, which we're going to color in the back. Or you can draw a tongue, or you can just leave it white. And now we're going to color in the rest of it with our orange. And again, it's okay if it's not completely perfect. Just do your best. And now we're going to make the body. So we're just going to go one line down and then another line down. And then there we have his body. We can color that in. And then if you want to, you can draw arms or legs or whatever. So that is how you draw your Lorax. And you're going to want to draw it directly on the paper with your truffle trees on it. And then over this, you're gonna put your grass, which you can draw on or you can cut out. And that's how you do it. Okay guys, so that's our craft for today. Stay tuned for Parents Corner and our dance. Hey moms and dads and kids, welcome to Parents Corner, where I'll be telling you all the supplies that you'll need for tomorrow's video. So, we will need a baking pan lined with tin foil, salt, paintbrush, glue, watercolor or watered down food coloring, and then a thick sheet of paper, whether that's cardstock, watercolor paper, or just construction paper. And that's all we'll be needing for tomorrow's video. Can't wait to see you then. Alright guys, time to get up and move. Come on guys, let's go. Okay guys, now get up and move, learn the dance, and send me videos. I really want to see you guys doing it. Love you. Bye. Remember, be you.